Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode, Cactus Quest. I'm your host, Hunter, and in today's episode, we got a greenhouse tour, folks. And
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a strong rhyme to step to.
Before we watch this, I'm sorry it took so long to make.
I'm happy to report it's a very special greenhouse. This one is one you guys have probably, maybe the most highly anticipated greenhouse tour on the channel to date.
Look, I'm sorry it took so long for me to come around.
Can't stay mad at you, man. Ow!
Do you know whose greenhouse it is yet? It's my greenhouse. Today we're gonna do the Hunter greenhouse tour, and I'm hosting my own. I'm gonna ask myself questions. I'm gonna ask myself questions, and I'm gonna tell myself the answers.
This could get bad.
I'm very excited, and I just wanted to thank everybody. Thank you guys for the patience. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the anticipation. Thank you for the encouragement, and thank you for the drive. Really,
What Hunter is trying to say is make sure you like and subscribe, unless you want millibugs to harvest your collection like fuzzy little grim reapers.
It's an honor to get to do what I'm doing, and I would not be able to do that without all of you. And so thank you guys. Thank you from the bottom of mi corazón. Now,
Let's do it.
are you ready? All right, here we go. Welcome to there we are. My feet are on the ground. So welcome to the greenhouse.
Welcome to the Vortex.
You guys have seen tidbits and pieces of this place, over the years. Now, I've been in this space for about 4 years. And over that time, I have changed the plastic. I have laid down weed cloth on everything. This place was, I'll find some pictures. You guys can see what this place looked like when I first got it. It was in shambles. It's still kind of in shambles, but it's shambles with my own touch. So, here in the Quest greenhouse, we do have a globe. So this is how I plan my trips. I say, okay, where are we going today? You kind of keep it right around this region here, right around there. There we are. Yeah. Okay, anyway, this is I have no idea how this is going to go, but we should start with one of my favorite little benches here. Now, a lot of the plants in this greenhouse are in pots that I made myself. So, for instance, you got these guys here that I made. And this is one of my favorite little places in the greenhouse. Like, look at this Crassula alstonii, for instance. Just, come on. Look at how beautiful that is. And the lighting right now, honestly, it could not be better. And then look at this little adorable little gem, little itty bitty, tiny little conophytum species. Don't ask me which one, because I do not know. This pot is not big enough for a tag, and I did not put one in there. Now, I do know the name of this plant, and I absolutely love it. This is Crassula susanae, and look how flat it is. Oh, I got this from Stephen Hammer, and this is in one of my porcelain pots, which I absolutely love. These, you can see like all the little crackles in the glaze. Truly beautiful. Truly beautiful. I really like Crassulas, so I guess we're starting it off, it's a Crassula quest. So we've got Crassula decepta here. This is a Crassula, and I don't recall the name, so pardon me on that. Oh, and I love this guy. This is my Glotophyllum. This thing feels like a horse's chin, kind of, if you guys know what I'm talking about, for those of you that do. And then you have this just staged into one of my pots here. I love the textures, of course. And then you've got some big chunks of granite that I collected on a hike, with some top dressing that I also collected on a hike. Charodopsis. This guy, I really like Haworthias, and this is just an absolutely, look at this. I mean, these windows, the translucent, you can see the light coming through them. These are all old world plants. What I mean by that is these are from the African continent, And this is a great time to do it. So the winter growers are waking up. The cactus are still actually actively growing because we're barely just tipping into fall. The conophytum are blooming. Everything is pretty much actively growing right now. These are some of my favorites. Avonia quinaria. This is the pink flowered form, and I'll probably have, these open up at like twilight, at dusk. So this one will probably be opening up here pretty soon. Got some other plants. I've been growing this Euphorbia melloformis for quite some time now. I think probably had it. It's probably been in that pot for 4 years, if I had to guess. And then I don't know. I showed you guys that little tiny. I just love the tiny little pots. Like, look at this little Avonia. Just a little itty bitty pot. I mean, how cool is that? I really love them. The blooms open up at night. And I have found them to be pretty easy to grow. I would say if you want like a very interesting kind of curious plant to get started with that is not going to be super difficult, Avonia quinaria is pretty darn easy.
For those of you that don't know me, my name's Hunter, and plants have always been a part of my life. But when I got my first apartment, I really wanted to try to recreate the vibes from my mom's patio. That's kind of where my love for cactus and succulents really began. When I was in high school, her patio was like my little Cheech and Chong oasis. I gave growing orchids a try, and I was pretty much the meme that you see of people watering them with ice cubes. Needless to say, my orchid test flight exploded moments after leaving the launch pad, and somebody recommended that I try succulents. Told me they were a little more forgiving. I need forgiveness. And so it basically began from there, and I'm not even sure if I realized it at the time, but an obsession was taking hold deep within me. And as a sales professional, marauding all around for my appointments from Long Beach to Santa Barbara, I had the opportunity to visit nurseries all over Southern California. And I had the thought that it would be pretty awesome to get paid to walk around nurseries all day. So, for me, walking through greenhouses that are filled with bizarre plants that stoke my curiosity and blow my mind over and over again and scratches some primordial itch within me. It reminds me really of like the days of, going and crate digging, or looking for cool t-shirts or like hats, old trucker hats at like a thrift store that nobody else has. I didn't know it yet, but my life was about to change. In the winter of 2019, I made my first post on the Cactus Quest account. I then attended my first ever plant event at the Los Angeles Arboretum. It was the winter show and sale. I was so excited to start connecting with other like-minded folks. And really, I kind of expected it to be like a bunch of old ladies with perms, and was a bit surprised to walk in and see all these people that kind of look like me, were like in my demographic. And the next thing I know, the entire world grinds to a halt. I'm now at home, laid off. I still connected with the cactus community online, threw down roots, even though the situation wasn't ideal. And I felt like I was actually hanging out with all of you every day. I'd wake up, make my coffee, go out into the greenhouse, hop on Instagram and see what everybody else was doing in their greenhouse in the morning, drinking their coffee. Early morning, nice and bright. I love the springtime. I love this. I suddenly had all this time to start to focus on exploring both backyards and desert habitats, domestically and abroad. I went to Mexico multiple times, went to Guatemala, and I made friends along the way that will remain lifelong. My wife actually bought me my first greenhouse during the COVID-19 global quarantine, and my collection outgrew my yard. With an ever-expanding family and 2 little babies running around, dangerous spiky plants are probably not the best thing to have everywhere where you get these little chubby baby hands. So I moved off-site and continued on. The reason why it's taken me so long to make this video is that every time I go to my greenhouse, I am just at peace. It's like a Faraday cage, and it keeps all the chaos of this crazy world, the ever polarizing political climate, and all of the frenzied societal pressures out. It's my temple. You know, I always ask people when I'm interviewing them if they feel spiritually connected to their plants. And some people do, some people don't. I do. You know, my greenhouse is a place for me to connect with myself, my planet, through the plants that are under my care. There's always something for me to do here, always something for me to learn.
Creativity, if you analyze what do we mean when we say that, it basically means being able to transcend the ordinary. You see it in a way nobody else ever saw it, whatever it is.
I initially started off with soft succulents, and since then I've gotten into everything. Conophytum, aloes, trees, you name it.
My blotter pot series. This is Opercularia pachypus. We got Alowadia montagnacii, Adenia petuelii, one of my pots here. Sitting next to that, you got Cyphostemma uter with the little spiny, hairy leaves. And then the Euphorbia obesa crest. Should I yell it out?
Crest Quest.
I don't normally go for crests, but in this case, I did make an exception. And this is the plant when I put it in the pot back in 2022. It's grown quite a bit.
This is actually a Bursera microphylla that I grew from seed. And I think I have the tag in the other one that I've kept from this batch. These are native to Mexico, Baja, California. I mean, I'm not saying that it's separate from Mexico. That's Mexico, but I'm just saying they also occur mainland Mexico as well as Baja, California. And actually, they even occur here in the United States, in Arizona. Speaking of Baja, you got Pachycormus discolor. Ooh, my very first super kabuto that I ever got. I bought this one, I want to say I bought this one probably on like eBay or something, and it came in from Thailand, and it was a success story. Now, the one thing like you got to keep in mind, when you're buying imported plants, you're gonna have to forgive my sweatiness because it is hot in here and I don't have a makeup person. But basically, like when you're dealing with imported plants, like you really have to kind of have to know what you're doing. You want to make sure that you're buying them at the right time of year and that you have the right conditions to be able to actually like get them rooted and established and healthy. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of those, if you can tell. Some Gymnocalyciums here. I like to give them a little rub down, you know? I do it with a toothbrush usually. This is awesome. I love this pot. This is a collab pot with me and my oldest. Nice little dichotomized Fricki in there. And then check this out. This thing is doing weird stuff. So this is a Phaerocactus glaucescens inermis, but it got damaged, and now the pups, not all of them, but you can see like that one.
That's not normal, is it?
No freaking way.
That is freaking amazing. Look at that. It's got like a round spiral aerial.
Holy shit.
They're doing some strange things, so I'm very excited to see. Just knock something over. No way. No way.
What have you done?
Hey, you break it, you buy it, my friend.
Dude, what the
Oh, man. Oh, man. Thank goodness it's the growing season for that guy. Let me set him down there. We'll repot him later. You'll be all right, buddy. Don't you worry about it. So, you know, I've gotten so many of these plants on my quests, going and meeting with different growers and meeting with different people that I'm going to be, going out into the field with, or different botanists, whoever it may be, collecting seeds, exchanging plants. I feel very fortunate to have been in a position and to have been trusted to take care of people's plants that they either grew from seed or that a dear friend of theirs grew from seed. So it's an interesting kind of thing that we're involved in here, this thing of ours, you know? But this is a really cool bench in my greenhouse that I love a lot. This is the Copiapoa bench. So here, you know, there's a few of my seedlings, although not many. A lot of these I've acquired from different places, and you'll notice. So, let's just let the light lead us right now. So this is a beautiful ceramic pot that I made with a Shino glaze on it. You get some of this beautiful golden top dressing with a nice rock. And then this is a Copiapoa cinerea that I got from Mesa Gardens. Sitting right next to this gorgeous thing. Look at that. What a gem. So this is also Copiapoa cinerea, and this is in one of my handmade blotter pots. See the Quest stamp right there? Every single one of those little squares is actually me pulling the clay down with a little metal tool. And that's how they're pretty time consuming.
One of the most common questions that I get asked is where we can connect with you to buy your pottery. And that's where today's sponsor comes in, Palmstreet. It's an online selling platform that I use to sell my pots, top dressing and staging rocks, and even sometimes plants. I learned about it when I shot a video with Jack in his greenhouse where he showed me how the platform worked, which I loved at the time, but it took me a little longer to adapt to it. I'm a creature of habit and was used to selling through Instagram and doing pop-ups. But I finally came around and really wish I had much sooner because I really enjoy connecting through Palmstreet, and I'm doing a handful of live streams a month where I sell and kibitz. And I also use it to buy plants for myself. In fact, I recently scored this Tephro Cactus Geometricus Diablo from Thorn Oasis. And it's not just cactus. So houseplant people, reptiles, crystal collectors, you name it, they have you covered. There's so many incredible sellers on there, so definitely check them out. And hit the link in the description and join now for up to $55 in new user coupons. Now, as a father of 3 young boys and a creative running my own business, maintaining my typical schedule of doing pop-up sales and attempting to manage online business through Instagram became practically impossible when my wife got sick last year. So traveling to do events was off the table. I really wasn't sure how I was going to make things work with the new challenges that we faced. And Palmstreet has been a game changer for me. The added pressure of trying to arrange for childcare and travel costs to do in-person sales has been eliminated since I have the ability to connect with people directly on my own schedule. I can live stream from home or the greenhouse, or really anywhere for that matter, which has given me the freedom to spend more time with my family, which, that's what life is all about. Editing videos, tending to my nursery, and making ceramics, these are all time-consuming labors of love. And without Palmstreet, I'm really not sure how I would be able to manage my schedule. I'm so stoked and grateful to have Palmstreet as a partner on today's episode, and I can't wait to see you on my next live stream. Now let's get back to the video.
So I've been asked many, many times to do custom pots, and I really haven't been able to do it up until now. So I'm going to start taking commission orders for custom pottery exclusively through Palmstreet. So make sure you download the app, and I'll see you on there. Peace. These are both kind of similar. I mean, in the sense that it's a repetitive pattern, and I think that a lot of life is just repetition. A lot of life is doing the same thing over and over and over again, And I think that in doing this motion over and over again to make these pots, there's something that I find very meditative about it. And then the end result is beautiful. So it's like being able to find peace and beauty in the, I wouldn't say monotony, but the patterns of life, This Delbata has been in this pot for ages, man. And it's pupping out like crazy right now. Wow. I didn't even notice that one back there. I hard grow the hell out of these things too, by the way. They're all basically in pretty much a pure mineral mix. And I don't do a whole lot of watering with these during the hot months. So as it starts to cool off, like now where it's, in the 70s and 50s at night or whatever, that's when I'm going to start to maybe give them a little bit more water. But when I do, I'll just be acidifying the water. There's a lot of debate out there. And to me, I basically bring it down to about a 6. And there are people that say you got to go to a 5. There are people that say 7. So, I respect both schools of thought, and so I kind of go right in the middle, and it seems to work for my plants. This is a really cool one right here. So this is actually, I got this from Sunbird Cactus. Shout out to Sunbird Cactus. And actually, he gifted it to me at a pop-up at Mellowist, man. DJ, shout out to DJ. Dude, so many good times, so many good memories. This right here, I got this Cinerea from Poots. Not when I did the video, I actually went back. And Brian Poot sold it to me. Really cool. You know, I've traded, like this one I traded for right here. This one I actually got from somebody that doesn't want to be named, but I got this one. And where is it? Oh. This one, I paid $25 for these. Now, granted, this was some years ago, but even still, it was still insanely... I couldn't believe it when I was told it then. I mean, the price was like absurdly low, right? I mean, just crazy. And then, of course, this is really, really cool, man. I mean, I've done a video on this, but this is a Copiapoa Cinerea Columna alba, and this is got data. It's a KK611, but this was sown by Steve Brack. So this plant was actually sown in 1991, believe it or not. And it actually just started flowering this year for the very first time and producing seed. And so I've got some seedlings going on it. Speaking of seedlings, here's some of my seedlings. Look. Some Columna albas. Some Cinereas. And then here's, for those of you that have seen the last video I did where I got plants from Blando, here's how the plants are looking right now. Still looking pretty good. Still looking pretty good. And then, oh man, this is a special plant to me. Whoa, whoa. This was grown by Collins, Poke House on Instagram. I forgot, I'll put the actual, I forget those numbers. But yeah, he sent me this, and it was a gift along with a number of other plants, but he grew this from seed, and he is apparently not alone in being somebody who has been basically inspired to begin their plant journey because of this channel. And I really never expected that to happen. You know, I'll tell a quick story. I've had people come up to me and tell me, hey, you know what? I wanted to thank you. Like, I came across your videos and then I started collecting cactus, and so you got me into this and I wanted to thank you. That blew my mind. A couple of years ago, I was at Inner City and I was telling Keith Kitoy, I was like, dude, you know, one of the craziest, I was telling him about that. And while I was telling him that happens, we got interrupted and that happened. So if you are one of the many people that has begun your cactus quest for, you know, just a pun intended, welcome, man. Welcome, chick, dudette, I don't know. Welcome to all of you. I had no idea that was gonna happen, but I'm so grateful it did. And I hope that, I'll say this. Plants have saved my life. And I'm not kidding. They've saved my life. And I wish I had found them sooner. Get emotional, oh my gosh. I made a lot of mistakes when I was younger, and I made a lot of decisions that put me in a lot of positions to go through a lot of rough experiences growing up. And I really wish I would have known about plants. I wish that I had somebody who could have opened my eyes to the wonders of this world, because I couldn't see any beauty in the world when I was growing up. and I see beauty everywhere I look now. And that's because of plants. The fascination and curiosity that have been sparked within me because of plants have led me to friendships, to travels, and to experiences that I could have never really imagined, and that are absolutely everything to me. And if I had found plants like in elementary school or junior high, man, it would have saved me a lot of years of misery. So if you're a young person and you're looking at this stuff thinking, wow, this is cool, I'd like to maybe learn about this, go for it. Like, I really encourage you to do it. It's obtainable, it's within reach, and it's never ending fun and fascination. I'm very grateful to plants. Yeah. Look at that fucking shit, dude. Is that Matt's and I? All right. Let's see. Morning time. One of my favorite times. Look at this. Look at how beautiful this thing is, man. Oh, shining light. Oh, the philo table's getting lit up right now. Oh, look at that. I mean, come on. Oh, come on. And so many of these things have memories, like, you know, the person that I got this plant from is really like kind of a mentor to me, and I don't know, I'm not sure, frankly, if he knows that I feel that way, but he's a little secretive about things. But I've gotten a lot of plants from this guy, and he's just one of the most generous, genuine people, and just, I don't mean with his plants, I mean with the knowledge that he has built up over a lifetime. And that's how this thing really goes. You know, we learn from each other. This is a really cool plant. This was a plant that I got at an auction after the man who made this pot passed away, unfortunately, from COVID. This is a Don Hunt pot. He was a very, very well-known and very well respected and sought after ceramicist here in the local community. And when he passed away, they did an auction to raise some money for his widow. And I was very fortunate enough to be able to get this plant. I've left it in the pot. It's grown quite a bit. And, you know, I'm very much inspired by the likes of Don Hunt and a lot of the other potters that have come before me here in the local. Oh, we got one tipped over. Now, look at this. So here's another example. This is also from Poke House, KK80, Copiapoa gigantea. Then this is a beauty from my friend Julian, pardon my cactus. Just a guy who I absolutely adore. We've traveled a bunch together. We've gone on so many fun plant journeys. And, you know, all of these little plants are like a reminder of that, man. I got this from Johnny, LA Cactus Connection, when we did the video of his greenhouse tour. I got this plant. This is a Jatropha cinerea, grows in Baja. That's the coastal form. I got that from Peter Wilkowiak. Look at my little guy. Bursera flageoides. I just trimmed this bad boy up yesterday. And shout out to Nick up at Grow Nurseries in Cambria, California. Look at that beautiful thing, man. That's one of his seedlings. He was able to get it to look so beautiful by pinching it and never letting it really grow higher than it is now, essentially.